Hello and welcome to Geekatplay Studio Tutorials. In this tutorial, we'll look how to create different type of rocks that you can use it maybe in your some sci-fi scenery. Interesting ways we can use it by utilize displacement and bump map. Let's begin by creating sphere, maybe stretch a little bit so we'll have it kind of nice look on our material. The next what I'm going to do is first work with the bumps and displacement so we can see how easy and very creative way it can do this and utilize after applying some colors. So I'm going to use function editor. Again, I'm going in advanced material editor, right click and going into the function editor where the bump is selected. So we'll go create first and we'll just create noise, parallel noise, and let's switch this to Voronoi at this point. Okay, and we'll go just select it. One nice thing about Voronoi at this point, if we go and take Z all the way down, maybe 2.2, you can see already how they start stacking one on top of another one. So let's make even more. Let's go to 1. We'll increase this maybe to 3 points. Okay, if you want slug, or we can actually decrease to point. Let's go 1 again, so we can see a little bit better. Okay, again, this is, you can see they're kind of stacking one on top of another, but this is a bump map, so it's not yet displacement even. We can add some more interesting waving to them by apply turbulence node. Okay, and let's in turbulence maybe increase amplitude. Okay, use a little bit larger features so they can see they kind of start wobbling around, and we can preview this on our screen. Okay, let's click preview. So you can see how we're wobbling. Again, because no displacement, we have the round shape right on edge, which is okay. Next, we can add a little bit more details to this by combining. And nice things about the Blender and combining it, what type of combination mode we will have it. So let's create maybe some simple fractal. Okay, and right here we can go to basic repeater. Basic repeater will go to maybe select again same things. If we select Voronoi, okay, we'll repeat 3 times. I'll just reduce meta, so we'll find right here combination mode add. So about right, we can also take Z and also decrease. Okay, next we'll combine them together by altitude, and in blend mode we'll say add. Okay, let's go click OK. Next we'll enable displacement material, and if we preview now, you can see we have a nice start having this edges effect right here. So it's almost like molding lava piece applied, and you can see how easy it was applied to us. Let's edit function right here. Okay, we can also add more one way or another, depending which way we want to go. And we'll go edit here. You know what? Let's fix it a little bit. Stretching. So our scales, you can apply with some values and see how well they will work together. Yeah, I'll just keep the amplitude a little bit down so they kind of overlap this way. Okay, let's click OK. Actually, now what I want to do, I want to create external dependency, and we'll do actually no, let's create connection to this, and for that one actually we should use it different filters. So we'll go select red brown. Okay, we'll delete this one, and we'll just connect to one. Okay, even this simple, you can see we have it already kind of inside darker and outside a little bit lighter colors. Okay, we can also modify contrast to bring more darker out. Okay, so right here we have it, our displacement done. Okay. Let's increase, see what's happened when we pop up. We start having a bit juggly. We can fix again this effect by smoothing out if we want a little bit. But I think about 3 will be okay. That 3 will be about right adjustments, and we'll just pop up a little bit smoothness. Also highlights, I notice we have it some, so I want to change highlights, make more dual. Okay, our effects are properly, bumps and color overall. So this is one material. You can see how we created. And again, this is just material for the rock formation. Look on the other one. Let's create another one just as example. And what if in this one as example I want to create more rocky look? So we'll do same things, but right here I'm going to create fractal, and I will switch to the terrain fractal. Okay, we'll go switch to 2, 2. And one interesting thing is what I find out, if we create filter on opposite than other ones, so we preview, you can see it's kind of look like a rocky going inside with smooth outside. So it's kind of out of this very interesting rocky type effect. Of course, we can increase or decrease like roughness, distortion, and as well add a little bit bigger bumps. We can create just Perlin noise. Okay, connecting, and set blend mode to add together here. Let's click OK, and enable material displacement for this as well. And we can pop up a little bit more. So right here, preview without coloring. You can see we have a nice rock. Again, when we're stretching, we start having this effect, stretching effect. So many times you want maybe go in displacement scale and bring a little bit down with that function. So this will give it a little bit more even. But again, this will apply if you're stretching. Maybe 6 will be better in this case. Okay, next to modify colors, we'll go same things. We'll go to loaded map, and let's just use it. Set future for this. We'll delete it. And on this, I'm normally will connect to one which provide more details. In this case, I'll connect to kind of small ones, to the sharper, more details. And let's see the different what's happening right here. So we start having in those teeny tiny cracks kind of more showing off. You can connect, take this node and connect to the Perlin. On this case, your coloring will apply to more bulgy parts. So right here, but again, your small one cracks kind of start missing. It's the reason why I like to apply to one which have most details at this point. Okay, let's see what else. We can have this one, or we can just apply stone layers. And right here you can see we have it with more details, one color. But I kind of like actually this one was, I think, applied was a little bit better in that case. Okay, we'll go again. Click, we have it bump set. Highlights, we can bring a little bit more highlights for this material. Okay, edit. Set a little bit reddish color. Okay, we'll click OK. So here's our other material. And let me set light to global reversed so we can kind of preview them. This bouncing a little bit too much, we can apply, but you can see some nice details with darker right here with the sharpness going. So we'll have a rock, two rocks. Let's move them a little bit away from our camera, and we'll create one more. For example, what if you want to do crystal type? Okay, we'll go ahead, open this one, and I'm going to actually bumps, edit, and we'll go create one node. We can normally we'll select crystals right here, but other things, if you remember, we used the repeater. So let's instead this one, we'll use it simple fractal with a cellular pattern. So this will be our small crystals. Okay, and let's maybe set to 4. So if we preview, you can see right here we have some small crystals, kind of crystallized type, and right here we'll just create a bigger pattern. So and connect this way. And for this one, let's go with a max. So we'll bring a little bit more crystals out. Okay, again, I'm just a little bit, now we'll readjust after when we start working in other effects. So for displacement materials, let's preview. You can see it's having this slight kind of nice crystal effect, but not all the way as I wanted. So we can modify a little bit more on this. So we'll just go to add mode. Okay, from simple fractal, we'll go to basic repeater. Okay, let's reduce wavelength to 0.4. So this is what will represent small crystals on top of the biggest one, because we're using kind of like add pattern on this. Right here you can see we have nice crystals already appearing. So they're kind of growing out. Let's modify. We'll give it solid color for this one. Let's click OK. Next, what I want to do, it is work a little bit with transparency. And this is kind of nice because when we set transparency refraction index, I want to set to maybe 124 closer to the glass or 133 to water. And when we start moving, you can see we start having a nice glass effect. Except in some crystals, I like to add murky. So we'll add light white color and more turkey kind of turks inside. And let's reflection pop up so we have a better light reflection kind of going around. Right here we have our crystal kind of growing, and it's take a little bit longer to process, so we'll have it all the way clear, a little bit more murky. Just preview, see which one will give it a little bit better look. Blur transparency. I want to bring the crystals, but I want to look at them a little bit different, more alien in a way. So also let's bring our highlights. Okay, we'll bring a bit more to shiny, brighter. Okay, bump. Let's move it just some little effect. Make them stand a little bit more out. Okay, you can also add a global reflection to this if you're interested. Apply some, but if you do this, be sure you have it set light as metallic. It will add some interesting effect of reflection, but also will protect some saturations on the colors. So in some it will look like semi-metallic transparency material. Okay, but for the render speed, so let's just take our reflection off. Okay, and right here we'll have our materials. position them, take a camera. Okay, I'm going to switch maybe to some neutral gray so we don't have it too much light bouncing from the ground. Saturation, so we can just pre-render our rocks and see how they will look. Okay, I'll take sunlight. Bring maybe more shadows kind of effect. Okay, and right here we can preview our materials with final render. Okay, so right here we finished, and it took 10 minutes to render, mostly due to this crystals, so it's take kind of time to render, but you can see how we created. One actually tricky things to do is creating rock formation with them, even you have it already created material. So let's just try to create one rock formation and see what's happening. Okay, be sure you're going to save those materials before you do next. I already saved them, so I'm just going right now. And best way to create rock formation is by using meta blobs. So in this case, I'm just going to select several spheres, maybe just readjust them. Okay, bring them different orientation. Overall, what you do with rock formation, you want to maybe create a general shape that you want to do for your rocks. Just right here as example, like this maybe. So I'm creating general shape of my rock formation. Next, select all of them and click right here to creating meta blob. If we render right now, here what we have it, how look our meta blob. Okay, next we just go ahead and apply material to this, and you will see difference. So for example, if we have it just separate right here, and let's open and load it our material. Okay, and I'm just going to create rough rock. It just take a little bit faster. So right here it's loaded for 1, and you can see how it's look. It looks some interesting. And when we try to apply same things for other ones, the scales start kind of playing tricks. Okay, it doesn't look that great as it's look on another material, and mostly due to our scale. We're using object parametric, and object parametric will stretch all this even it looks nicer and smaller. So you have several solutions. One, you can actually go ahead and decrease based on the object, decrease a little bit of your scale for it, so you can see how it will look this way. Or you can do other ways. It is change type of the mapping. But when you switch to, for example, world standard, you will need go opposite on a scale if you want to have it bigger bumps. Example right here, you can see how world standard will apply. So in some cases, when you start creating materials and you think you will create for rock formation, I recommend you to create those materials directly on the your rock formations. On this case, you know techniques how you can do this, but when you apply directly on rock formation, you can see direct effect what's happening, because materials look totally different between this and this. So let's look on rock formation this point, and as example, we'll go use it object parametric so we can compare. Okay, Next, I'll notice some of this doesn't look very good when we look at this, and reason why we may have too much of this distortions. So let's go ahead and add bigger bumps. So these bumps will make a little bit better effect. Okay, right here. And one thing we can try to multiply. So let's preview. You can see effect. Also, color doesn't benefit in this one. So we'll go back to add. And let's switch our colors. Something more neutral, maybe like a dark vein. Okay, we'll click OK. We'll go to highlights and just bring our highlights down. Okay, next trick, what I kind of find interesting to do, what you want, it is add bump mapping to this as well. So right here you can see bump, but let's create another node. Actually, you know what, let's go switch to simple fractal. Actually, that will work well. Okay, we'll have smaller features. But right here, what we're going to do, it is connect just only to the bump material. Okay, we'll go add. And you'll notice we'll just add additional bumps to our material, which is give it kind of nice roughness right where the shape supposed to be. Okay, so we have it. Nice apply material. And right here, this is maybe a little bit too rough. So I'm going to smooth out some of those effects. Okay, let's click preview again. And you can see this material will look a little bit different when we apply to rock formation than we applied directly to the rock. Okay, so at this point, okay, and again, next things what I want to do actually, I want to create a little bit better rock formation, which is will affect how this material will look. So this will be our base for rock. Okay, next I'm just duplicating. And I'm just going to place maybe right here. So in this case, I'm just creating a bit more interesting rock formation. Okay, we'll go select meta block as well and copy and paste it. Okay, so right here you can see when you work a little bit better with rock formation, it's look more interesting with right ways. Instead, if you just put a lot of blobs or rocks, then maybe doesn't come up very well. Okay, so let's delete this one. We have our rock formation at this point. And again, let's maybe edit map. I'm not kind of doesn't come up very interesting to me. So maybe just readjust a little bit. Okay, and go away from the white more to the orange color. Okay, let's look on a bumps. We maybe want to pop up. I'm also look on an edge right here. We maybe want to increase smoothness. Let me take a camera, bringing up and looking. So right here, this is actually kind of interesting edge, but maybe a little bit too sharp. Right here, broken. So fix this. We need to go and apply a little bit quality and smoothness a little bit more to this. Okay, let's pop up overall bumps effect. Okay, and we'll take nudge down on the our displacement. So yeah, the edge look better. The bumps now a little bit too strong. So again, it's a dot 3. Let's move them out. Okay, next let's go click OK. We'll copy this material. The one nice thing is because it is object parametric, so based on a scale, if we want it, we can set world standard. On this case, it will be nice if we try maybe map with the terrain we're using. Let's apply right here. Okay, we'll preview in a second. Okay, and again, we'll take on meta blob, like example right here. This is too sharp edge, so I'm going to fix a little bit this edge. Okay, I'll take terrain. Edit objects and just rework a little bit of my terrain. And disable displacement on our terrain. Okay, let's look down. Okay, now positioning our sun, you can see how we can create terrain, some nice rock formations, and with composition sun lighting, we can actually bring even more to life better than other terrain. So you can see how already it's kind of start working together. Modifying atmosphere, so let's just pop up a little bit more towards sunlight. Bring our clouds. Okay, and of course sky fog will just take our atmosphere, set a bit lower. And just try this horizon line kind of a bit loosened right there. So a bit more foggy. Kind of haze coming right this area. Okay, let's preview. Again, with the displacement, we create our own rock materials. Okay, next, what I want to do is let's just create one more till we're here. So just created one right around this area. And it's just simple. You work with different shapes, and if you want it, you can even work with maybe squares, other ones. I found out that if you're creating meta blob, you can create very interesting shapes, but if you do too extreme, sometimes they're not look very nice. So we'll just do meta blob this way. Okay, we'll go to copy, paste. So we want to have the same material right here. Let's preview. Okay, and we have it. Interesting, right on the bottom, I kind of maybe want to add, take this one and just have it a little bit even more pull out. Okay, and we'll have it. Okay, let's click preview. Again, this, as you can see, with the rock formations to start, but again, the trick kind of when you apply with materials, you want them work directly in yours with material. The one thing right here, this is actually a nice point right on the edge. You can see how they don't really going together well. So what we want to do, we actually want to take this material and switch to the world standard. When we're done this, you can see how our scale is certainly changed in a big way. So right here you can see even in preview. On this we want to increase overall scale. So let's pop up till you have it about same as before, like 3 example. Maybe even more than 3. So let's go to 4 about, and I'm just checking right scale. So we'll say about even 9 probably. Okay, we'll copy material and we'll also paste to the ground and paste to the terrain. And let's paste right here as well. So the one thing when we're done this way with the world standard, the texture null will apply on all scale. So if we preview, you can see right here on the edge, they kind of start blending in. So this is way better ways to use with your material and rocks to blend together. If you have a rock formation and you want them kind of blend with your textures, with the terrains, you can see right here, because world standard mapping, it's look much smoother, so you don't see even when they come together at that point. Okay, and so you know what, this is kind of look nice, and let's just finish our terrain so we can finish this stuff. I'm going to just select this meta blob, we'll open here, let's pop up more on displacement, increase a little bit smoothness, so I don't want happening there. We'll just slightly pop up, see if it's bring a little bit nicer details. Okay, as well we'll increase to 0.5. Okay, we'll go to atmosphere. Let's modify our lighting. And right here I'm just increasing, so we'll have it better shadows, a little bit more shadows right here, so a little bit depth we can see this way. As well, let me see if I can bring somewhat sky so we can see details. More density. We have our clouds, some kind of pictures coming right in that area. Let me see the edge right here. What I want to sharpness, but I also want to add kind of more fog effect. Okay, we'll go 5. So yeah, a little bit more haze. Editor lights. Okay, so I think we're kind of preset at this point, and I'm just going to set final, and we'll render and preview our rock formation at this point. Okay, so right here we have our image, and you can see we have a nice rock formation that can apply it to your terrain. Again, this is just concept, so showing you how you can explore more. Thank you for watching this tutorial from Geekatplay Studio. Please remember visit us on the web at www.geekatplay.com.